Hi guys, so I am getting started on my next journal and I didn't know what I wanted to do. It's funny how you sit around and you're like, oh, you see a video, you're like, oh, I want to try something like that, I want to do that. And then you get to where you're going to start something and you're not sure what you want to do. So I pulled out one of my containers with paper packs and I said, choose one and make a journal. So I found this one that I had used, I don't know, maybe half the pages. Excuse me. So I decided I was going to use the rest of this so that I could be done with something. I think I'm going to end up with 2 journals out of it. Really pretty papers. They are double-sided. And so what I've decided to do was to, instead of cutting them down and folding them in half and having stiff, pages in the signature, I decided to cut them and then put them together so that they are, more easily opened and closed when they become a page. And then also it mixes them up a little bit. So on, for instance, this one, if it were one page folded in half, it would be the same on the front and the back. You probably understand what I'm saying. But this way, it's just all different pages within the signature. And, just a little something more, colorful, patterny, I don't know. So that's where I am. I've cut everything out. I've started signatures just with the scrapbook paper. There will be 4 signatures in the journal, and I've taken some papers and I'm going to, glue them and then stitch. I thought that'd be kind of nice. And I've done a little inking. I think in this journal I'm going to make it a little less inked, but I wanted to do a little bit of inking. So, and I'm using a lighter color, Gathered Twigs. So I'm going to sit here and I am going to glue everything together and then probably add a stitch with a light brown, if I have it, with a light brown thread. I thought about green, I thought about blue, but it's not going to be consistent on, this is more blue, this is green, so I thought a light brown would be best. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that and I'll show you how it turns out in the end. Well, just the signature part of it anyway. I've gotten the signatures put together to start with, and I used just some paper to put it together. I stitched around it and then just, have them kind of put together in a way. I need to actually mark them because what I end up doing is fussing with them. This was, I cut this down so that it had like the full squares of these little sayings, so it's a little shorter. But I need to number my signatures because I'm terrible about messing with them and then them getting out of order. So maybe I'll grab, I have a sticky pad around here somewhere. Take my note off. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hopefully with all of the stacking and messing with, hopefully I can keep them in the, or keep these on, because I've tried this in the past. And you know how some sticky note things stick better than others? Yeah. A post-it note, a small post-it note would probably be better. That would probably stay on much better. With this being loose, it's probably going to be a problem. All right, I have a pile of paper that I've just gone through all my different odds and ends of papers that I put in my journals and made up a stack, and I'm going to see if I can add them. I don't want this on there. Normally I would, but my thinking with these, I have a few solid pieces of paper, and I think I'm going to use my paper punches on the edge to make them, you know, kind of decorative. So I don't want the writing on there because it wouldn't look right having the decorative edge border, you know, with the words. I might keep these, you know, as like decoration for some pages. So I'll just stick those up out of the way. That's good. I'll most likely have to cut things down, but I figure I will just start by folding them and trying to put them in some, I think those are the only things I had to pull any edges off of. So yeah, I'm just going to fold them and then try to put them in some order once I get them folded. So what are some of the things I've been up to since I've been away? So things kind of happened in order to pull me away. And of course that started out with my vacation, and that was at the beginning of May. So yes, I've been kind of away since then. Well, not kind of, I have been away since then. And the trip was good. I said a little bit about it in my last video, but then, oh, you know, I made that so long ago that I really can't remember. So we did a Viking cruise on the Rhine River in Germany. Part of the time we were in France, so I was in Germany and France, so that's cool. And the Netherlands. So yeah, lots of places. Crazy. Again, to think how many places you can go over there, because the United States is so huge. And so the thought of being on a cruise and being in so many different countries in a week, it's just like unheard of to us. These ones, I'm not sure about what I want to do because I have the envelope with it. I'm not sure if I want it to be a page or not, so I'm just going to move that one out of the way. This one as well, because there's an envelope and a kind of a page that goes with it. These are those, some of those papers I showed you guys a long time ago. This is actually made from, let me cut this torn part off. This is made from birch bark. Isn't that crazy? It's pretty cool. I'm hoping that when I fold them in half, it doesn't just splinter, crack. We'll see. Well, it looks like there's kind of a fold in it already, like a natural fold. So I'm going to just go where that natural fold is. And I don't want to give myself a splinter. Doesn't that sound silly? I like it because it's kind of colored on both sides. So yes, the cruise, and it was fun. It was, you know, an experience to do one time, not my thing. I'm not a cruise person, I have decided. I like the idea of being able to explore at my own pace. And you are definitely on the boat's schedule, and there wasn't time except for hurrying. There was no leisure time, except the only leisure time was on the boat itself. And we had so little time at each port that you couldn't see very much. And then you had to race back to the boat so you weren't missing it. So, you know, that wasn't great, but it was a nice experience. And we saw some cool things, and I showed you some pictures in my last video. But I would love to go back over and spend time in one place for several days and then go from there, move on. I think that if I have the opportunity to go over there again, it only took 50 something years to get there the first time. So, you know, we'll see. But if I get over there again, I'll do it differently. So, okay. Almost done folding here. I don't know if, I remember when I first started journaling or making journals, I was always interested in the way people put their signatures together, and there were rarely videos about that. And I would watch flip throughs over and over again to see the pages, and you know, I'd be like, oh, okay, so they use that sort of thing, and they use that sort of thing, and there was very seldom did I see somebody just start to finish say, hey, this is what I put in my signatures. So hopefully it's of some value. This is a book page. That might be fun. And I thought this would be like a start. Maybe it's plenty, maybe it's not. Okay, so I have those all folded. And we'll see kind of like a color situation. So pretty much anything will go, pretty much anything. And then, of course, you know, I don't know, did I fold it the right way? Meaning, like, am I gonna like those colors? And then I'll go back afterwards and fix all my ick stuff. And I don't know, will I leave it just like this? I don't know, we'll see. I need another page. What else can go there? I don't want it to be quite that muted. Let's see here. But I might. I don't want to be so, okay, I don't want to be so decision-making. I just want to put stuff in. That's my thoughts. Just put stuff in. And then I'm not sure about the centers at this point. So I did 3 pages in there. Okay, let's see what I can figure out on this one. Definitely gonna have to cut this one down. Music pages are always quite large. And maybe I mean, it's not, I don't know. I feel like that one's kind of too small, but it might be okay for another layer. I might do another layer. You know, like, that might be good. In fact, why don't I just do it? That's one more page than the other ones have, but that's okay. Oh, that's this. Oh, no, it's not. Okay. So You know what? Okay, I'm already kind of goofing. I had 1, 2, did I already use one of these lined ones somewhere? I think I did. I wanted one of those in each. So I'm gonna have to go back and do that also. Okay, here I go. I'm starting to overthink. And I wanted a solid color in each one, and I don't think I did that. All right. So let me see where I put the other lined page. Okay, it's in this first one, so I need a lined page in this one. Maybe the green right there. That's good. Too much pink and too much blue. Okay. And then maybe here. All right, and then what? I wanted a solid one, and I've got them in some of them. So does this one have a solid one? No. So we'll do a solid one in here. I think we'll do it right here. Does this one? No. I'm not crazy about this color combination, but I'm trying not to fuss about things and just put it in and figure it out. This one has a solid one, and then this one has a solid one, and then this one needs... All right, so let's count how many pages I've put in. 1, 2, wait, we'll just count these inner ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's stick another one in this first one. I don't know what the others have number-wise. Let's find out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this one. Is it? Oops. I need my outer covering. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 1, 2, 3. I'll use one of these. Don't know if that's, I'm gonna probably need to put some more, you know, like in the center, because that's not gonna be nearly enough. I'm gonna have to dig through and find some more. So maybe I'll just, I'm gonna dig through and find some more pages. found a couple of more papers, and I also put some envelopes together. So I have so many envelopes, you guys. So I took some, and then I just created a page with it again. This one has kind of, I don't like the comedy club, what it says on the inside. So I folded that one in and glued it down. This one will open. And I think I might cover that, you know, the word, but I may not. So let's add something else here. We're just gonna go for it. So I had a grid page somewhere else in the book, but it was smaller. So we'll do that. And what else? This one. So when we came home from our trip, it was a late Saturday night, and I might have mentioned this in the other video, but we get home and we had a leak. A water pipe broke out in the yard, and I don't know if it was, I think it had just happened because there was a little enough damage to the ground around it. I don't think it had been going for a really long time, but we had to sit and, well, it was Sunday morning, so we turned off the water and went to church, knowing that when we got home, so tired, you guys, we were so tired from all the traveling, but we had to go home and dig a hole and fix a pipe. So, but then we get these phone calls, and so here's one of the big reasons why I took such a long break. I'm not going to tell you like all of it because it's not my story to tell, but there was a significant change in family dynamics that happened. Not to me, my husband, all that, we're fine, but yeah, just kind of a bad situation. And you guys, it took the wind out of my, what is it? It took the wind out of my sails so much that I just couldn't make myself do the stuff, if you know what I mean. I couldn't. So, I mean, that situation hasn't changed. It's the same, but at some point you got to get on with your life, you know? So I'm getting on with my life now. I don't know. I don't know. I'll just go ahead and stick that in. I feel like it needs to be, these are bigger envelopes, so that's okay. It's okay. Just like that. It's fine. I think that I'm going to add this. So, you know, when things like that happen and you just, you know, it makes you kind of sad and definitely not creative, that's for sure. Not for me anyway. Yeah. But life goes on. And so here we are. I had not intended to leave these. I had intended to kind of put something over the top of some of these, but I'm thinking I like them the way they are. So, you know, like I was thinking to put something like this, but I'm not going to. And then the last little bit, I'll do this. Then I'm going to go through and cut everything down so it fits within the parameters. I don't want everything like sticking out real bad. Mostly it's fine, but I'm going to do a little trimming where needed. And then I'm going to start working on filling it up. So let me trim these down and then I'll show you. All right, everything's nice and tidy and fits within. And I think there's plenty of room for expansion, but also it's not crazy big. I say that now. You guys, if you watch me, you know it always gets crazy big. Not my intention though. So this is what we came up with. I don't think I have anything twice in the whole journal, which is, that's good. Okay, and then, you know, then it just repeats back here, of course. So I'll be using a lot of the offcuts because I have all of these offcuts to make pockets and some tags and things like that, so that'll be good. Okay, and then just repeat it back here. Alrighty, and then repeat it again. Hopefully I'm not way too far up. Probably am. Sorry about that. Alrighty, so I think we're gonna call it good, and I will start adding some pockets and see what I come up with using all of my scraps, and I will show that to you hopefully in the next video. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.